Mrs. Point Black, coming in hard and off the cob. Coming with the backs, cracking them backs. I'm coming with the flow, straight from the barrio. And I'm coming with the heat of the motherfucking street. You dig? And that's how we gon' do. You know how we do. So today, we're going to discuss some things again, as usual, as we do. Because this is not going to stop just because they want it to stop. It stopped when we get it right, when we get back on our foundation based on black people building our foundation and running and cleaning up this world from all the garbage that's on it. You know what I'm saying? Because our people were here first. Let's get that clear. There's a lot of things our people are out there doing right now that, they're doing because of so and so. We can always ask how we get that way, and we must solve and find out why it is so. Because our people have a lot of work to do, and there's not no time for playing around. As you can see, these people are always playing the game based on, while we thinking it's all sweet. So there's a lot we have to do now rather than just do that. You know what I'm saying? Because the natural construct of most of what you see today came from the will of the African people, much as like Egypt, much of many inventions that came from black people, even right here in America. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things that they have, even down to their alphabet. Everybody knows the story about that. You know what I'm saying? So the construct was used from black people. Why are they always in Africa digging it up? Talking about Iran and Iraq and all that. That's Africa. You know what I'm saying? You broke open the vaults, then you're over there in Babylon. So don't talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Black people have a lot to do. So I had to make them understand where we stand. You know what I'm saying? We playing along these hetero games as if we are them, and we are not. We are a race of great intelligence and high form. You know what I'm saying? And if you want proof in the pudding of that, the greatest place in the world was built by our people. Just take a look at Egypt and tell me what you see. All right now. Now, today I hear something was going on with my man Andrew Yang. New York City marital hopeful. Got a little heckle. He got a little heckle. You know what I'm saying? At a Dante protest. You know what I'm saying? But my thing to him is, what did he expect? Because I jumped on his head before on some statement he made about the Palestinians. You know what I'm saying? You way over here, you talking for the Palestinians and you trying to run for mayor in New York. You sound silly. You know what I'm saying? What did he expect? Open arms? You know what I mean? And you're running around doing a bunch of garbs. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got nothing to do with culture, brother. It has to do with the position in which you hold, the position in which you are running for. It don't matter if it was Tim Buck Jones from Tim Buck Will or wherever. But once you come under our legal process and our government, we're going to be watching from now on. And this is what black people need to start doing. We keep a sharp eye on every move. We are the scientists. Keep playing around. But what did he expect? Open arms? You know what I'm saying? A welcoming crowd? Yang before, be for real. You know what I mean? Get your stuff together, because he was a presidential candidate. So what was your aim if you had became president is what we need to find out. Yang, get it for real. You know what I'm saying? Get for real. Get your mind right. You know what I'm saying? Andrew Young, a demon Democrat. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a Democrat. A demon Democrat. For sure. And that's what he is. He's a demon Democrat for sure. So I don't know what he's thinking based on what he's trying to do. You know what I mean? So he needs to get himself together and get himself right. And don't expect people to love you just because you this and the third. But she's a demon Democrat for sure. That we do know. You know what I mean? So, you know, be a lot of people at the protest where he came to, Jared him, and called him a pro cop. That's the slang they called him. They called him a pro cop at the thing. You know what I mean? It was Tuesday evening, past probably. While he was cycling with a group of cyclers. Yang. He arrived at the Battery Park in Lower Manhattan. You know what I'm saying? In Lower Manhattan, and you know, with about I think they were saying he was with about 150 cyclists when some amongst the protesters, gave him a little, they started heckling, you know what I mean? Heckling, you know, the one-time presidential candidate, they were heckling on him, No wonder he lost. You know what I mean? He wasn't popular at all. Someone on the microphone that was at the protest, they grabbed the microphone thing they have there, and according to the video obtained by the Post, you know what I'm saying, the protesters were saying, you know, don't use our protest for your publicity. You know what I'm saying? I think a woman said that to him. Don't use our protest for your publicity. You know what I mean? We don't want you. You know what I'm saying? We don't want you here. You know what I'm saying? We don't want. I think the woman I said we don't want you here. You're a pro cop. Several members of the protesters was on his head. You know what I mean? But that's what happened when you run the way you run and think that you're just gonna keep on getting love. I don't know what you're looking for because your love ain't warranted here. You know what I mean? You a pro cop. You know what I'm saying? Members of the protesters said that, chanting as Yang, was I guess riding away on his bike with 150 cyclists he showed up with, looking like a scaredy cat. He rode away, and while he was riding away, they said you could hear people chanting "shame, shame, shame, shame," which is a damn shame. As Yang rode away with a group of cyclists. You know what I'm saying? Yang needs to go somewhere and sit down in a corner and think about this. You know what I'm saying? You need to think about this, about his affairs more so. You know what I mean? You need to sit down and think about his affairs more carefully. You know what I'm saying? And get out of our political process. Really, it would be helpful, clown. You know what I mean? To me, you're deep state. To me, you're deep state and a crook and a Luciferian probably too. You know what I'm saying? And it's a fact. So I don't understand what Mr. Yang thought that he was going to roll up on the crowd and you a pro cop is what they calling him. What reason would the protesters have to call you that if you did not present yourself in that way based on black people in America? You have to come better than that if you're going to come up in the political scene and think that you're just going to come up here and do a bunch of garbs and make garbage statements and slide in and out. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be worrying about no Palestinians and no one else. You should be worrying more about your people and making sure that your people is all right based on your people in this country. And the same goes for black people. They have a right to protest and do what they have to do for these things that's going on. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I see they have moved, you know, a lot of things around based on what's going on even with this thing. You know what I'm saying? You see they move towards the children. You know what I mean? And they need to really not do that. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not speak no more about that because when you do, they try to take your shit down. You know what I'm saying? But they need to get away from that because children are very strong and residual. You know what I'm saying? They're constantly growing and creating mad things in their body to protect them, especially after the age of 13. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But we'll see where it goes. But it would, it would, in other words, we'll see where it goes, but be warned, I should say. I would leave it there, but be warned. What you ask for is what you get, you know. And, that goes out to the rest of these clowns, Pachi and the rest of them. Stop that garbage shit about, you know, cut out the everyone thing. Come on now, we ain't with the joking around. Not everyone. Everyone don't need it. And that's a fact. You know what I mean? And before I jump on this next joint, you know what I'm saying? This is cool right here, and I like this. Skipping subject. I see the men of Elmont has stepped forward. Step forward. It is a great thing to see. These young men stepping up and doing this. You know what I mean? This is what needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? The young men, the young must lead now. And this is a good thing to see the men of Elmont, you know what I'm saying, the young teenagers or brothers and young men of Elmont, the young men of Elmont is stepping up to do this. You know what I mean? They must lead the way now. You know what I'm saying? This is what I like to see. Keep up the good work. And keep up the good work. Point Black says, you know what I'm saying? Point Black say, power be yours. Good job, men of Elmont. Coming from the great Point Black on your shoulders, and I'm with you. I'm there. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of work to do, and you're doing it well. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for stepping up and taking part and doing your part as kings of this earth that you will be. Thank goodness we have men like you, young men like you. Let's see if we can get a whole lot more. You know what I'm saying? So we're looking at the whole situation in which brought these young men to step forward and do what they're supposed to do as men for their community as a whole. You know what I'm saying? And speaking about that situation, you know what I'm saying, I just wanted to kind of like drop a little jewel on how certain things are pulled forward, especially bracing yourself for more of this garbage that seems to be growing along the path. You know what I'm saying? It has become a real pandemic. It's predictable. As soon as there is a shooting, there are looting and violence and sometimes even that as a response because people are angry. People are angry. Especially what went on with my man Dante Wright. You know what I'm saying? People are angry. You cannot keep doing it. And that to me, I'm sorry. I don't agree with it was a mistake. But if they call it that and that's how it go, I don't call it that. It wasn't a mistake. I think it was a willful act by the officer for one reason and one real only. Because an officer have to be more professional in how you use deadly force or any kind of force in subduing flesh and blood. We cannot make those type of mistakes all the time. And it seems to be even leaning towards a constant level. And there are a lot of good police officers out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that they're perfect and they might not make a mistake or two themselves, but there seems to be a pattern that we're looking at. You know what I'm saying? And it's even becoming like a state of emergency, has even been declared in Minneapolis and Minnesota after the Dante Wright, you know, after Dante Wright was shot. The people Now you have people looting in the crowd and carrying on and doing all the nonsense they're doing. A lot of them just there because they're angry and they want to take what they want to take because they've been shortchanged by these demon Democrat policies for many years. Even the taxes and all this different stuff and emptying out the cities and all the businesses going overseas. And you go to the city of Detroit, it looked like the whole place is an abandoned ghost town. Same with Detroit and maybe even Chicago's and different factory cities that used to employ a lot of people and people were able to make good money. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these places, and most of them are demon Democrat states, even probably the one that Dante got hurt in. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry that happened to the brother. You know what I'm saying? Who was killed by police during a common traffic stop. You know what I'm saying? I'm still asking why 8 or 9 of you are there as police officers and you can't subdue one dude without a killing to where you set off another riot or something due to your unprofessionality. Does not make no fucking sense. So that means something more to this. That means the eye. You know what I'm saying? Auntie Wright was shot and killed by police during a common stop that went horribly wrong. And there seems the same thing with George Floyd. You know what I'm saying? No matter what people say, it was a fake, it was this, but the actions speak louder than word. What we saw spoke for what it is. This has to stop. You know what I'm saying? Shortly after. You know what I mean? As predicted, a wave of looting and rioting, started down the road. Because as all know, looting goes from store to store. You know what I'm saying? Looting is good from the store is justice for the fallen. And we got to cut that out because, you know what I'm saying, if we're not going to bring it to the higher ones who is in charge of these people, then you're just barking down the road of lower level staff. And we can't have that because we need the top people to put the pressure down like we're doing. Now, if they have police reform, like I said, reform is good, but to a certain degree. You know what I mean? Because we have to watch what people is trying to do on the officers that make the officers, even say they're not coming. What reason would he have to come if when he comes, he end up in trouble trying to help? You know what I'm saying? Now, you have a lot of shitty ones that might do stuff like I said before. In my other video, of them doing a lot of garbage. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of here in this joint, they're trying to say it was himself. But I really don't care too much for that. I want them to be able to straighten out what went on and how it went on and why. We need answers. We need people to be held accountable in bad behavior at all times. And that's facts. You know what I mean? We don't need all the other garbage. So we have to start looking at where we going from here based on that whole thing. You see what I'm saying? So let's get back to work, officers, and let's clean up our town so we can get back to normal life as we see it. You know what I mean? And as it's supposed to be. And this is a good thing, not a bad thing. You know what I mean? So we have to start looking at that, even though the cases seem to be dropping. Coma's easing restrictions, which is good. You know what I mean? You see him at 50%. Let's go Como. You know what I mean? Let's go Como. So let's see how far he will go on these restrictions because people need to get back to, definitely um, normal life. You know, they don't need to be going through a whole lot of garbage. You know, so now we have you know, a lot of things going on. But anyway, jumping subject, we see 5,800 who have, and 74 who pass, and 396 after. It's still going on based on the data. You know what I mean? We have to look at that. At least the data is coming out for the first time. Is good. You know what I mean? Especially on different things that have to do, even down to the CDC is talking now. So that's a good thing. That is good. You know what I'm saying? It's a good sign of the field. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not going to just ease off of everything that went on, because I know that because we need an investigation into these things as we move forward. But we have to be able to understand that, it comes a time where we have to start letting the naturality of things take it process, that people don't have to do this or don't have to do that, but basically understand what they have to do in order to keep themselves well, so things can go back to normal as we see. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to be going down that long-winded road. You know what I mean? Because before you know it, now you're going to need this, and now you're going to need that. Then when that ain't no good, you're going to need that, and you're going to need this, and you're going to need that, and yada, 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 yada. You know what I mean? And that is too much of a process for even the human body to consume based on certain things. And we have to be careful with that, you know. So now I'm switching subject. I hear Biden declares Russia a threat, a national emergency. I see him, you know, calling a national emergency due to some argument against Biden and Putin and whatever is going through, but that has nothing to do with us. And I keep saying that when they do these things, you know, 10 booted out over election meddling, for real. 10 booted out over election meddling. Yeah, 10 booted out over election meddling. You know what I mean? Now we see the trick in the mix is still sugar on shit. Expelling 10 different officials from Russia. You know what I mean? Uh, 10 different officials from Russia on a bilateral mission affecting both sides. Okay. You know what I mean? But he got expelled from Russia. 10 officials, I guess, from America, you know what I'm saying, on a bilateral mission they were on, you know what I'm saying, affecting both sides is what they mean by bilateral in a sense. You know what I mean? Bringing them on home, I see. Bringing them home, I guess. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They can turn off the lights. They can turn off the lights in the building across from the building they stand to get all night. So that light in the window, you know what I mean, across the building over there, you know what I'm saying, they can turn off the lights now. You see, they can turn off the lights in the building now. You know what I mean? So we have to start looking at this whole thing from a more open mind. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to what's going on with my man Don T. Wright. And now you cause a whole nother rioting and stuff in Minneapolis and different countries. We can't be allowing this to go on. We must heal what's going on and find out why, you know what I'm saying, this has come to this type of situation. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Even these mass shooting and what's going on in the subway don't seem to be really saying too much other than I see something that shouldn't be. You know what I mean? And we have a lot of things going on based on that. That also shouldn't be going on when it comes to even the riots and the different things. You know, you know. I see Breonna Taylor mother slams fraud, Black Lives Matter, as Candace Owens saying dead black people. You know, I don't even know why Candace Owens, anybody would even listen to Candace Owens based on anything she has to say. You know what I mean? You know, I don't understand why they would even do that. What does Candace Owens have to do with Breonna Taylor other than running her garbutical mouth? You know what I mean? You know. And I see Governor Cuomo's up there. He's talking about record numbers of New Yorkers viewing Cuomo unfavorably. You know what I'm saying? More than half of New Yorkers voters view Cuomo unfavorable according to, the siren. But that happens. That happens, and Cuomo got to understand that when you do the things you do based on the things you've been doing or based on the things that you have been doing, and, it's been sliding under the table, the unfavorableism is going to come in, especially on the nursing home incident. You know what I mean? And we still have not got a full groove on that other than what he said and they said. That he say, she say, I escape out of this real sweet. You know what I mean? So we have to look at that. The Research Institute poll released Monday morning. You know what I'm saying? Released Monday morning. It's the first time the governor unfavorability ratings, surpass 50%. You know what I mean? Which is his, I guess, good on his part. The result comes from the governor's under investigation by the Attorney General Tisha James. You know what I mean? Go ahead, girl. Who is looking into the sexual harassment, you know, claims. Like I said, he can finish out his term, but it's time for new blood in the seat. It's time for the Republicans to step up and take your place in this situation. We cannot just sit around here and wait for others. We need to put who's going to be doing good, and being that they had 47 years of long rule, it's time for us to change it up, get some new blood in there and move on. Same goes for Anthony Fauci, the weasel. It's time for him. It wouldn't help for him to just, stay off of TV and step aside. Mr. Talented. So this is Point Black saying, Point Black Evening News. This is Blessed Be the Mother. Last time I made a mistake, I said the S-O-N is not the S-O-N, but the S-U-N, coming from the General Sarah Sioux City Pharaoh. Still looking for you. Don't stay strong. We'll make it through. You are the Pharaoh. No one rules you. You know what I'm saying? But this is from the General Sarah Sioux City himself, saying, no man precedes his mother. You know what I'm saying? Blessed be the sun that gives us light and sustain us on this planet that we may be able to bless here and grow. And I say, Ra, stay for right. Point Black, PBNN. Point Black, National News, the late edition. 1.